Well, hello and good morning. Welcome to Amazon Live. I'm so excited to have you here on our channel in our space on Amazon. I'm Sharvette Mitchell of Mitchell Productions, and we work with high achieving women, entrepreneurs, and leaders to help them position their expertise with a polished visual brand, increase visibility with speaking strategies, build authority with a published book, and convert more customers with their content marketing. And guess what? One of the ways that we do that is with book collaborations, where we join forces with amazing clients and amazing leaders, and we write a book together. And today it's all about showcasing. Like, listen, it's not even, we can't even say hot off the press. It is not even off the press yet. We're giving you all the inside scoop and letting you meet the authors of Prepare for Purpose, which is the 5th book collaboration that Mitchell Productions has produced. So we want you to relax. We want you to grab your juice or whatever you have on Saturday morning. Hang out with us here, because one by one, I am going to bring up to the virtual stage each one of our co-authors in our upcoming book collaboration. Now, it is not available on Amazon yet. It is not available on Amazon yet. You are able to purchase from each and every one of the authors that you're going to get to hear from. But we're here on Amazon, so definitely got to shout out a few things. Now, those of you that are watching on Amazon, you will see down below, we do have some of our past books that are available. So my very first book collaboration, Propel, this book is amazing. If you're looking at trying to soar and excel in any area of life, pick up Propel. That is available. Again, those of you that are with us here on Amazon, that is linked down below. Also, we have books like Pursue, okay? Pursue, again, running and chasing after your goals and after your dreams. Wonderful for professional development and personal development. So these books are linked down below on Amazon. Welcome to all those that are coming on in. Good morning, Nichelle. Thank you for stopping in and saying hello. Good morning. From my sister, my blood sister, Kim and Deborah, that are joining us over. We're sneaking and sharing this on Amazon as well. Hello. Good to see all of you. Good morning to everyone that is joining us live. And again, if you're on Amazon, we see you. Hello, Dr. Shell, joining us over on Amazon. We see you as well. So listen, we want you, while you're here on Amazon, follow this channel, absolutely, so that you can stay up to date with everything that we have going on and all of the great things that are certainly available here on the Amazon channel. And so as a part of the book collaboration, this book that we're introducing to you today, Prepare for Purpose, and the subtitle is Your Invitation to the Next Level. And I talk really in the introduction of the book, I talk about how, there's a lot of conversation around purpose and what is my purpose and finding my purpose. And you might even remember the book that came out, oh my goodness, many moons ago, Purpose Driven Life. And there was a lot of conversation, right, around purpose. But the conversation that I think that we need to have is, how do we prepare? A lot of times, people are trying to figure out what their purpose is, and, am I in my purpose? But how do you prepare? And I really feel like these 10 chapters that are in Prepare for Purpose will absolutely give you that ammunition and give you what you need. So welcome to everybody that is coming on in. We're glad to have you. Very interested in hearing more about this book, right? Well, you are in the right place. So you're going to get to hear from every single one of the authors. Hey, Deborah, thank you so much. You're going to get to hear from every single one of our co-authors in the book collaboration. Yes. We're gonna kick off with Lady Joice Sawyer is up to the virtual stage first. You're going to get to hear from her in order as pictured, right? You're going to get to hear from Lynn Lewis, Apostle Ezreaonne Jackson, Dr. Tschanna Taylor, Elder Desireé Harris Harris-Bonner, Dr. Tabatha Spurlock, Pastor Roz Brown, Chandra Payne, Dana Wilson, and of course, I'll be sprinkling in and sharing a little bit about my chapter as well. So again, if you are live, go ahead and let people know you're checking us out on Amazon Live. You actually on Amazon can share it. Some of you may be here. Hey, Phyllis, thank you for popping in. I'm ready. All right, we're ready. We have you. We're watching you. Those that are watching with us live on Amazon. So certainly go ahead and comment and chat. And so let me prepare to bring up our first co-author. Lady Joice Sawyer is joining us live on the virtual stage. Let me bring her up to the mic. Hello, Joice. How are you?
I'm well, Sharvette. How are you this morning?
I am well. You look amazing as always.
You do too, my friend. You look absolutely beautiful as
Likewise.
always.
Thank you. So I am so honored to have your chapter in this book collaboration, and I love how you kind of really talk about positioned for purpose, which is your chapter. But before we get into that, I'd love for you to just share a little bit with our audience who you are, what you do, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, great. Good morning, everyone. And thank you, Sharvette, for this opportunity. As Sharvette stated, my name is Joice Sawyer. I hail out of Bowie, Maryland. Now, I have, let me say, I serve with my husband. We serve a church called Mount Calvary Missionary Baptist Church. I'm a pastor's wife, and we've been serving for 2 years. Some other things that I've done is before my husband and I got together, I served at a church called Mount Calvary Mount Calvary Holiness Church in Washington, D.C., under the tutelage of Bishop Alfred and Susie Owens. And there I shared in ministry as what they call an armor bearer, an assistant to them both. I served with Bishop Owens in his classes as an assistant homiletics teacher, the art and science of preaching. And I've traveled all around the world with his wife, co-pastor Susie Owens, serving as her armor bearer. And in addition to that, I serve the Mount Calvary Holy Churches as an adjutant general, which means I train all of the adjutants and armor bearers to serve their leaders. And, that's a part of my purpose. And that's basically enough about me.
Wonderful, wonderful. So certainly much that you bring to the table in this space of talking about preparing for purpose, because literally that's what you do. And so talk about your writing process for your chapter. What was that like?
Oh, my writing chapter for my process for my writing chapter. When you gave me what the book was about, prepare for purpose. I just started. The first thing I did, like always, when I'm given an assignment, I pray and I ask God, what direction would you like me to go in? And, as I begin to pray, God began to speak to me about positioning. And with that, I just started writing. I journal a lot. So every day, as in my devotion time, as I prayed, I would just begin to write. And I wrote. And then as I began to write and pray, God began to share with me what he wanted me to share in this writing, in this collaboration.
All right, wonderful. Are there any sound bites that we could share with the audience to whet their appetite about your chapter specifically in Prepare for Purpose?
Yes, one of the great things that I enjoyed about the chapter when I saw your title of the book, Prepare for Purpose. So I started thinking about how do we really prepare for purpose. So I then, as I begin to, just think about it, I got the thought that how we prepare for purpose is that we position ourselves,
Yeah.
and when you deal with positioning, you deal with placing or arranging, because if you're going to prepare for purpose, there's some arranging that you have to
Ah,
do.
that's
There's
good.
some placements that you have to do, because sometimes, when we talk about placement, and I'm just a spiritual person, and
Yes.
God places us in situations, and sometimes those situations don't feel as comfortable as we think they ought to feel, but
Yeah.
we have to be positioned and placed so that God can prepare us for purpose.
All right. And listen, that absolutely comes out through your chapter. I like that. And I've got to say, Joice, and to all the viewers and the listeners, this book, out of probably all of our books we put together, really is faith for the faith-based person. Absolutely all day long. I mean, when you have preachers and pastors and apostles and elders in the book, that's what's gonna happen. And we have no qualms with that. One of our viewers said, I like that. I like that. Absolutely. I like that. All right. And I love there's a quote or a comment in your chapter where you said, he will make you be seen,
Yeah,
talking about God. And so a lot
yeah,
of in that positioning and that placement, a lot of times we're trying to do a lot of stuff, but
yes.
yeah,
You have
yeah,
to allow God to position you, and then He'll
yeah,
position you for success. In any
yeah,
game, you see the you have uh the person that's on first base, second base, third base. Then you have the pitcher. The
yeah,
pitcher doesn't do well on third base. The pitcher does well when he pitches in the center. And we just
yeah,
have to allow God to position us so that we can
yeah,
be positioned for
yeah.
purpose.
Oh, right. Prepare for purpose. So listen, Joice's chapter alone is worth it, right? It's worth it. So you'll be able to pick up pre-order your copy from Joice before Monday. You've got to get all your pre-orders in. So connect with Joice and pre-order. Those of you that are following and a part of her audience, pre-order with her. And so what overall do you want people to really walk away with after reading your chapter?
Overall, I want people to know, I want to share, on your way to purpose, which is our big thing.
Yeah.
Purpose is the big thing that we're trying to do. God will test us in the small things.
Mm,
The small things, such as serving.
yeah.
Serving helps you to discover your purpose. I know it helped me to
Yeah.
discover my purpose. So it's those small, meager, insignificant, irrelevant things that we think that are not, there are no big lights. There's,
Right.
not a lot of thank yous. It's in serving others that you eventually find your purpose.
Yeah.
So find a way to serve, and I guarantee you, you will find purpose.
All right. Well said. Well said. Which is a great lead into your you have a monthly or at least bi-monthly show. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, in my purpose to train and develop servants or adjutants or armor bearers or assistants or administration, I have a call that I started in 2020, and it's called the Servants Call. And it's held every third Saturday at 9 p.m. It'll be held tonight. It's held every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we talk about different things to help us in serving others.
Yeah.
So
And you have a special guest, I
I have a
believe.
special guest tonight. Her name is Pastor Angelique Simmons, along with me serving my co-pastor Susie Owen.
Yeah.
Pastor Simmons also served co-pastor Susie Owen. She was one of the first women to serve co-pastor Susie. So tonight we're going to talk about the journey of the servant. She's going to share with us her journey, how she went from serving to a prayer warrior, and now
Wow.
to becoming to a bishop's wife and now to becoming a pastor herself. So the
Oh, I love that.
journey of a servant. She found
Ah,
the purpose through
yeah.
serving others.
Ah, I love that. How can people watch? How can people connect with you?
Sure, you can go to my website. It's jmjministries.com. When you can visit us at the Servants Call Facebook page. You can visit us there. You can go there, like the page. You can go to my page, Joice Sawyer on Facebook, Joice Sawyer on Instagram, the Servants Call on Instagram. But the best way to probably do it is to go to my website, jmjministries.com. And if you want to watch tonight's Servants Call, we'll be live on Facebook and YouTube tonight.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Position for Purpose, your chapter in Prepare for Purpose. And we're just honored and glad to have you as a co-author, my sister.
I'm honored to be a part of this collaboration. I am so honored. Thank you, Sharvette.
You are welcome. Again, viewers, check out and pre-order your copy from Joice. All right. Thank you. All right. Okay. Welcome again. Glad to see everybody. Hi, everybody that is coming on in. We're multi-streaming a little bit in a couple different places, but thank you for those that are with us on Amazon. We are in Amazon Live featuring, I agree, Nichelle, and wonderful, featuring all of the co-authors from an upcoming book, Prepare for Purpose. You will see some of our past books, if I hold it up right, linked below on Amazon. So go ahead and order a copy. You can order a copy of these books linked down below. Some of our past books that are there. We've got a total of 4 out. This is our 5th book collaboration. So let's keep this train going. We have coming up to the mic next, Lynn Lewis. Lynn Lewis, let me bring you on air live. Hello, Lynn. How are you?
Good morning, Sharvette. I'm well, thank you.
All right. Well, we are glad to have you and feature you here on Amazon Live in your chapter, Choosing to Thrive in the Aftermath, your chapter in Prepare for Purpose. So we are so excited to have you as a co-author. So tell all of the viewers a little bit about yourself.
Okay, sure. Well, as you already know, my name is Lynn Lewis, but I am a certified grief coach. And while grief tends to be bothersome or sad, I am just excited that I get the opportunity to guide and support adults, mostly women, but I have some men too, who are grieving the loss of a loved one by death. And these are persons who they've decided, sure, they have this burden of grief, but they are ready to move forward, living a meaningful and impactful life. And I get to be the one that coach them along that way. They have either come to understand that, okay, I might as well accept this because it is what it is. I can't change it, but I get to choose how to move forward with it. And so, though it's can be a daunting task, it is something that I am certainly just glad that I am a person that's chosen to do that. For many years, I've known that my God-gifted purpose here is to encourage women, to inspire women, to love them, to care for them. And when I found myself in a season of grief after my son's death, I thought, why not just keep going along that vein? And when you read my chapter, number 2 in the book, you'll hear me talk or read about how I meld those two things together.
Wow. We are so honored to have your chapter. And certainly, like you said, grief is not the cool, sexy topic, but you so beautifully deliver this chapter and your lived experience and how purpose is weaved in to that, which we don't normally kind of consider those together. We are definitely getting some shout outs and love for you, Lynn, over on Amazon. Thank you for those. We see you shouting out. Congratulations, ladies. I've pre-ordered the book. Looking forward to reading it. Thank you so much, Terry. Thank you so much for that. And so what was your writing journey like? What was that like for you?
My writing journey actually was bittersweet. It was bittersweet because in order for me to tell the story, I had to revisit some places where I've healed in, have done a lot of healing in. So if you can envision having a wound and that has healed, the scab has come off, but you still see the scar.
Yeah.
I had to go back and open that wound. I had to visit some of those darkest hours, those darkest days, in order to move forward to tell the story that I would be able to help someone else as well as continue my healing journey. So that was the bittersweet part of it. I don't regret having to do it, but that was it. The sweet part, though, was and still is that by me telling the story, I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that my story is going to help someone else. I've learned along the way from sitting in your conferences, from reading, from listening to other persons, because I'm big on learning.
Yeah.
I have learned that my telling my story will be someone else's painkiller. Telling my story is the solution to someone else's problem. I may be, as my grief coach says, I may be the last stop, the last person on the street.
Wow.
And they think that they have no one, they have no place to go. And boom, here I am. They get to hear my story. They get to see my interview. And that gives them hope that, oh, if she did it, I can do it. If she did it, I'm going to give it a try. So that's why my writing experience was bittersweet.
So powerful. I mean, I just felt that. Over on YouTube, Miss Warford said, first she said, grief coach. Yes, Glenn is a grief coach. That's the hardest part about being an author is having to go back maybe to places that have healed but we still have to kind of go in. Rita said, thank you, Lynn, truly. Thank you. Amens. And so as you know, certainly sharing that, are there one or two nuggets in your chapter that you'd like to share with our viewers here on Amazon? Awesome. Thank you, ladies. We see the comments. Amazing. And wow, they're saying as well.
Several things, but I'll just, two things that really, every time I think about the chapter, every time I was editing and re-editing, rewriting, one is 7 months after our son's death, I made the decision, and it was like a pivot. I made the decision that was going to be a part of my life for the rest of my life, but it did not have to consume my life. I could go on living my life.
Yeah.
And so that was very pivotal. And I shared that because I've come across so many persons who just can't, they think that becomes their life when it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. So I made that choice. And that always surfaces, always comes back to me that I made that choice. And it was so powerful for me because it came the day before what would have been his birthday. His 31st birthday. It happened the day before. And that was one. And then the other is for years, I've heard and experienced to some degree
Mhm.
about turning your pain to purpose. You see that as a tagline
Yeah.
on many platforms. But I did not know until I knew the magnitude of how you can turn your pain into purpose. I'm living proof of it. And so
Yeah.
that was another soundbite, if you will, that they just resonate with me. It just keeps coming back, rising up in my spirit every time I'm talking about it, or if I'm asked about how do you do it? How do you go on? Choice, choice.
Yeah, impactful. Again, choosing to thrive in the aftermath, prepare for purpose. Pre-order your copy from Lynn. Those that are following a part of her audience, pre-order your copy from Lynn there. And so, where can people connect with you? And if there's someone watching saying, I'm experiencing grief, can I coach with you? Or what's their next step?
Yes. So one way is to visit my website, which is destined to thrive griefcoaching.com. I know that's kind of long, but it's destined to thrive griefcoaching.com. You can reach me by email at destined to thrive at outlook.com. I also have a Facebook page, which is destined to thrive grief coaching on Facebook. Instagram, I am Grief Coach Lynn. So
All
those
right.
are the best ways. And if you just want to pick up the phone and call 804-404-6059. I do answer, respond to texts and messages.
All right. We are so glad to have your chapter, Choosing to Thrive in the Aftermath, with author Lynn Lewis. And I'm excited. I believe this is one of your first book
It
collaborations.
it is my first book collaboration, and I am so humbly grateful for the opportunity. I feel like I already know my co-authors, even though I've
Yeah.
only personally know a couple of them, but
Yeah.
it's been an awesome experience. And I'm just hopeful that people will, at the end of my chapter, and even at the end of
Mhm.
each chapter, that they will leave encouraged and inspired and hopeful that regardless of what their life situation is, that they can move to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. And you are a lived example of that. Again, viewers, pre-order your copy from Lynn. Rita is sending love you. Thank you so much. All the love that's coming in. All right, we're excited. We have a great rest of your weekend, and thank you so much for stopping by the show. Somebody said,
Thank
Lynn,
you.
you're amazing.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for being here. All right. Wow. We are keeping this train moving. Welcome here. If you just came in and you're like, somebody sent me the link, I'm here. You might have just run across us on Amazon. I am Sharvette Mitchell of Mitchell Productions, and I help and work with high achieving women, entrepreneurs, and leaders to help them position their expertise with a polished visual brand to increase their positioning with speaking strategies, to put their authority in a book as a published author, and to convert more customers with content marketing and book collaborations. That's one of the ways that we do that here at Mitchell Productions. You can see here on Amazon Live, down below, you will see 4 of our previous books that are available that are all book collaborations. So I want you to think kind of like chicken soup for the soul type of feel. You can pick up and go in between the chapters. You can read in order. You can read out of order. And you'll notice a theme for the titles of our books. Everything is starting with a P. Everything is starting with a P. That is intentional. FYI, some of you follow me because I'm a little bit of a fashion girly. So you will also see if you like big hoop earrings and you're looking and you're saying, Sharvette, I like those. On Amazon, they're linked down below in my show notes. And this beautiful brooch is linked to down below on the Amazon store front. So listen, this is lifestyle branding over here. We just like to combine everything. All right, let's get ready for our next author that is coming up to the stage here. One of our co-authors of Prepare for Purpose, Your Invitation to the next level. We have Apostle Ezreaonne Jackson that I am bringing up to the virtual stage right now so that you can meet her and hear more about her. Hello, Apostle Jackson.
Well, hi, Sharvette. You're looking wonderful as usual.
Thank you also. And you've got on money green as
Oh,
well.
yes, it's my brand color as well.
Yes, 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 yes. Well, we are so glad to feature you here on Amazon, and you are not a novice to this book world at all. You have books already, so I'd love for you to share a little bit about your journey, who you are, and you can absolutely shout out any of your past books as well.
Thank you so much. I'm really glad that I'm on here. Thank you so much for having me. I enjoyed our previous sisters that came on this morning. But I am Ezreaonne Jackson. I am a Oakland girl. I herald out of Oakland, California. Born in Jackson, Mississippi. I've been living a little over 7 decades, so I have a lot of experience under my belt. I am a author and now a co-author. This is my first collaboration entity, and I'm enjoying doing that. I'm a veteran pastor. I coach women over 35 years old and a few good men, as you say, Sharvette. I've done a lot of qualitative assessments on what that looks like psychologically for women, not only in the faith community, but just humans as a whole, that sometimes their purpose is kind of cloudy. So my LLC is called PASTA, is the acronym for the engine in which I use to help individuals find out who the core of they are in their life and the values that orbit around that to give them directions on what their next should look like. In other words, I bring clarity to their purpose in life. I pastor a community of faith leaders, and I'm also a qualified mental health professional, and I'm a registered behavior therapist for autistic children. So I have a plethora of things that I do in my life at 72 years old.
I mean, and I know right there, somebody said 70, wait a minute, no, not 72 where? 72 what? Yes, I mean, beautiful, beautiful. And so your chapter, Purpose is a Journey to be Lived. Beautiful. So very profound, eloquently written chapter. And so tell us a little bit about your writing process.
Well, this being my first collaboration and the challenge journey, prepare for journey, I said, that's a good idea. Because sometimes we throw out idioms and colloquial sayings and people just say things, but they really don't know how to process that.
Yeah.
And you know, when the book came out about your purpose from Miles Monroe, many were trying to figure out what you know, that's the idea we probably didn't come up with, especially the faith community. We did a drive-by. We never stopped to give it a moment of thought. And so when you gave us the title, and I thought about it, all of the books that I have written, I've written 5 books, and they're all on Amazon. One of them is my autobiography. One of them is a hermeneutical literature about women as a whole. What did God really mean in Genesis 2:18 about a helpmate? Because my name is Ezra, and it means help. It's a Hebrew word. But Yvonne is an archer. So how do you become a help and an archer at the same time? Now, my grandmother was a Methodist first lady, and she named me after my mother and Ezra. I'm sure she had a purpose for me, but she died before she could explain that purpose to me. So my autobiography deals with the first part of my life, which was very dark. I am a survivor of youth sex trafficking. And a lot of people don't realize that. So I wrote that book, and then I started writing books for the faith community. I wrote a book after I had been in a 7-day coma with COVID last. I wrote the book last year, 2 years ago, about recovering or life after COVID which is a devotional book.
My
So
goodness.
I put all these books together and I thought about my life. Some people are fortunate enough to have guardians or parents that kind of help shape their lives. But
Yeah.
some of us are birthed out of trauma.
Mm.
And so I really didn't realize what my purpose was. I mean, I'm just living life like many of us. We here, but what we
Yeah.
And so I was around 40 years old, like, you know, I was troubled. I needed a therapist. I mean, I had been married. I was on my second marriage, and it was going on 17 years. I'm in the faith community. You know, I've been preaching. I've been traveling all over the world, seemed like it. You know, 25 states in the United States, Jamaica, West Indies.
My goodness.
Who am I? Who am I?
Yeah.
What is my purpose? And so I started asking that question when I got 40 years old. And at that question, at that moment, I started diffusing anything in my life that was keeping me away from my purpose. And yes, it was a lot of pushback. It was a lot of hurt. It was a lot of dark days, but I made it through it. Because if I can survive what I survived when I was a teenager, certainly God equipped me to survive when I was 40. And so when you said prepare for purpose, my thought was purpose is a journey to be lived. And I deal with my mentor. One of my mentors is one of the greatest influence in my life is Archbishop Dennis Goffin, who is a biblical scholar. And he presented at a meeting that we were at, a panel, and I was blessed to be part of the panel, but he talked about the 333 of Jesus. Jesus was on the earth for 30 years. He ministered only 3.5 years. His purpose was fulfilled in 3 hours. Now we know Jesus hung on the cross for 6 hours, but the last 3 hours when he spoke. So we can go through internship for 40 years of our lives.
My goodness.
And realize what our purpose is, and we help others. And then the latter part of our lives, we leave a legacy for others. And so I believe that purpose is a journey that we need to live out and not be so frustrated about our past and about the trauma that we've gone through. We have what I call station masters. You are a station master. I am a station master.
Yeah.
We help people through their journey until they realize what their purpose is. And when they're cognizant of it, then they have other people to help them on their journey. So my part is purpose is a journey to be lived.
Listen here, y'all. I say this every time. Literally, if you get the book for one chapter alone, it is well worth your money every single time. Make sure you pre-order a copy from Apostle Jackson. Your followers and viewers pre-order from her. It's not available on Amazon yet, but you can pre-order with each of our authors. Wow. I mean, that 333, y'all that leaped up out of that chapter when I was reading it. And that's so powerful. And so you mentioned a couple things. Anything else you want people to walk away with after they read your chapter?
To understand that there is a core to each of us. There is a value, and you need to find out what that value is. When you find out what that value is, and basically 4 other values that orbit around the core of who you are, then you will have clarity about where it is that you are going. So I also want you to understand that you're living your journey. You're living your journey right now. It may be dark. It may look bleak, but I'm telling you, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And some of us may be at the end of the tunnel. I know I am, but there's some dark days, but God deals with us. God deals with us in every station of our lives.
Yeah.
Even though the core of who I am, what I do is I fuse psychology, which is the study of the mind and behavior, and theology together to help people get a clarity of who they are and how to get to where God wants them to go.
They go together. They go together. How can people find you, connect with you, all of that online?
Well, I try to keep my name Ezreaonne. When I was younger, my grandmother gave me a nickname called She called me Duchess. She was a first lady, and she was boozy. My grandmother's out of Mississippi. My grandma was boozy. So when people couldn't pronounce my name, she said, "Just call her Duchess. Just call her Duchess." And so in California, they use my name Duchess. But when I moved to the West Coast, the Lord said, "Teach people how to call you by your birth name and explain what it means." So you can find me on social media, Ezreaonne, Instagram, Ezreaonne. My website is EsreaonneJackson.org. Do not do .com. I do .org. Email me. You can email me at TOCOMPASSION, which is 2 compassion, the number 2 @gmail.com, and I will answer you. I reply within 24 hours. I'm also I said Instagram, right?
Yes.
And LinkedIn, Ezreaonne. I'm Ezreaonne everywhere. There's no other name. Ezreaonne. You'll find it on social media.
Wonderful. It's right here on the screen. You can screenshot it, and there you go. You'll have it. Again, other books are available on Amazon. So screenshot her name, put her name in, and you'll be able to have it. Well, thank you so much, Apostle Jackson. I'm so glad to have your chapter in Prepare for Purpose.
Thank you.
All right. You are welcome. All right. Woo. We are keeping this moving. We have Dr. Taylor coming up next, but let me share just a little bit of a commercial break about Prepare for Purpose. Here we go.
Prepare for Purpose, Your Invitation to the Next Level, is an inspiring and practical book collaboration. It seeks to help readers discover and nurture their individual paths to living meaningful lives. Written from the perspective of 10 women leaders. This collaboration includes short stories, transparent moments, scriptures, and motivation. To assess and pursue a meaningful purpose with intention and commitment. Throughout the book, the co-authors encourage us to pause and reflect on our decisions, actions, and experiences. Prepare for Purpose is for anyone looking to discover and walk in their life's purpose. By the end of the book, you will feel empowered and determined to create and prepare your own path to the next level. Order your copy of Prepare for Purpose.
All right. And again, you can order from any of our co-authors. And we want to shout out those of you on Instagram. And this FYI, I need to link this in my store. Some people thought that this is actually my phone case cover. Some people thought it was a walkie-talkie, but it is on Amazon. I'll link it in my store. But thank you, Lisa Williams, for being here on Amazon. We see you, Tamara. We see you. So glad to see you. Oh, we see you, Phyllis. Thank you so much. Those that are commenting it on Amazon Live. I totally agree. This live discussion is really awesome. Beauty and brains. Absolutely. All right, let's bring our next co-author up to the stage live. Dr. Tschanna Taylor is coming up. Put your virtual hands together. Hello, Dr. Tschanna. How are you?
I am well, Sharvette. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. I'm so glad to have you in Prepare for Purpose. And so this is so interesting because it's probably you're used to being on the other side of the fence because you help people bring books alive and all of that. And so you have been so humble to sit over on this side as an author. But tell our viewers and all of those that are on Amazon Live who you are and all of the good things.
Before I share a little bit about me, first, I just want to tell you, thank you, Sharvette, for allowing me to contribute in this amazing opportunity. And congratulations to you and the amazing women that I get to help build the kingdom for. So hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Tschanna Taylor, but I go by Dr. T. I'm from Durham, North Carolina, and a mom of a 15-year-old son that keeps me on my toes. I am the CEO of Tschanna Taylor Enterprises, which houses Emerald Tree Press and the Amplified Woman CEO Network. I am a publishing consultant like Sharvette shared. I am an anthology producer, a speaker, and an entrepreneur of 18 books teaching leaders in business and ministry how to leverage their written stories so they can attract more clients while making additional income streams.
Wait a minute, 18 books, y'all. So you can see we have pulled together the best of the best for Prepare for Purpose. Are the books available on Amazon? How can they grab them?
They are available on Amazon as well as on my website, and I will share towards the end my website.
All right. So, your chapter, which opens up the book, so your chapter is actually our opening chapter, when vision meets purpose. And so I thought that I was like, this is such a great way to start our conversation around purpose, is tying in this thought around vision. And so, what was your writing process like, as someone who has written a lot? Sometimes that might be like, what else am I saying? What else am I going to write about? What was your writing process about?
Well, for me, because I've experienced a lot in such a short amount of time, I believe that in everything that I do, it has to have strategy behind it. It has to make sense. And so I will share that there's always going to be something for me to write about. And
Yeah.
so I write until God calls me home. And so I wanted to make sure that when I wrote this particular piece, that I wanted to remember my reader, making sure that I prayed, that I meditated on what to write so that it could get the greatest impact. And in doing so, making sure that I was able to listen to some soaking music and journaling, my past experiences coupled with some current transitions that I am facing today. And so because my schedule is busy, working in the business, being a single mom now, and I also have limited vision, I don't let none of these things stop. And I wanted to make sure that I would at least dedicate 15 minutes a day towards my writing process, because one thing I did not want to do was to ever be late meeting a deadline. Again, I write anthologies and I write books, so I know the importance of making sure that my information was submitted on time. But I also am so grateful for receiving feedback from the editor, because it left me feeling like, okay, I feel like the story that I share as the first chapter in the book, that it would allow the reader to walk away with overcoming and definitely choosing not to stay stuck, regardless of whatever life challenges that may come, because they're going to come.
Yeah. And so thank you for the tie-in of vision. As you mentioned, personally, there are literally some vision things that you're dealing with, and you chose to tie in the word vision into your chapter. And so, are there any sound bites, any nuggets that you would like to share with the viewers about your chapter?
So yeah, I want to say that the title is actually recalculating. That word alone is so powerful.
Yes.
Recalculating, when vision meets purpose. And the sound bites that I want to share is what comes in all shapes and sizes that can be delivered to you anywhere you are and affect you when you're asleep or you're awake. That is distractions. And distractions are going to come to derail our vision and our destiny.
Thank you. And I do have that, I'm running like a racehorse, recalculating when vision meets purpose. Thank you. Thank you. I've got it right here. Yes, that is the opening challenge. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And and so what was so powerful about how it opens up and that kind of recalculating, because sometimes we get really like focused on it's got to go this way, my purpose or what is lined up. And then if something derails us or deters us, it puts us somewhere else, some people don't know how to really respond. What do you say to people who there's a detour, or as they're on their way and in this journey and they're not sure how to deal with the detour? What do you say to that person?
So I would say that, as my son and kids his age would say, life is happening, or life is lifing right now. They can say that word, life is lifing. And so with life is lifing, I want you to remember that life is like a GPS, right? And so if you found that you are off track, or that you've gotten off track some kind of way, that please definitely take away knowing that there is grace that is sufficient for us, right?
Yeah.
Give yourself some and trust your process in knowing that purpose will always recalculate you. You just have to be able to embrace the journey, but overall that you walk away empowered ignited, and equipped to take action towards your purpose.
Take action. That is the key. That is absolutely the key, because sometimes we'll sit in a place of, I know I'm supposed to be doing something. I know I'm supposed to be, but then the action, people get frozen and they don't actually take that action. What else would you say you would like for people to walk away with after they read your chapter, Recalculating When Vision Meets Purpose?
Use the resources that are available to you. Is really no excuse as to why you can continue to say that you're stuck. You when you purchase this book and you read the different chapters, not just my chapter, but you read the other chapters, we leave you with powerful nuggets, tools, and resources that can equip you for you to take the next step. It's no reason why in 2023 we're still saying I'm stuck. Ask questions, reach out for help, push pride to the side to get to where it is that you're trying to go.
Wow. Either say ouch or say amen. Either that was an amen, high five, or that was an ouch. You type in the comments and let us know. Either one. Ouch or amen. Yes. Prepare for purpose. Again, the opening chapter. What is a way for people to connect with you, follow you? And if they're saying, hey, I'm looking to kind of do book collaborations, and we feature, FYI, all of our authors' pictures are featured on the back of all of our books. Their names are on the front of the book. And so how can people connect with you and find out more and maybe go down this journey?
Well, I am on all social media platforms, from TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. That's where I hang out. And if you can't find me there, I am definitely found at my website at www.Tschannataylor.com, or you can shoot me an email at info@Tschannataylor.com. I'm not that busy that I can't stop and take the time to assist, to help you to walk this journey that you've been assigned to walk.
All right. Any thing else that you want to shout out? Anybody else you want to shout out? And listen, we've got on YouTube, Ms. Warford said, I need her help. Say your contact information one more time. Say it one more time.
I am found on all social media platforms at Tschanna Taylor, and my website is www.Tschannataylor.com. Or you can shoot me an email at info@TschannaTaylor.com.
All right, there you have it. And again, right on the screen. So screenshot it. Listen, Amazon Live, push pride to the side. Absolutely. This was so encouraging, Dr. T. So encouraging. Thank you for everyone that is hanging out with us here. Push pride to the side. Thank you for being a part of our book collaboration. Even though this is something you do. Thank you so much. And pre-order your copy from Dr. Taylor. Pre-order your copy from her. Yes. Kamisha said, yes, embrace the journey. Absolutely. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you. All right. Again, thank you so much for those that are joining us here on Amazon Live. I'm Sharvette Mitchell, marketing consultant with Mitchell Productions. And one of the things that we do is we really help entrepreneurs tell their stories of their business through marketing, and book collaborations is one of those. You can see on Amazon, we have 4 of our prior book collaborations that are available for you to purchase. And we're doing a spotlight of our authors in an upcoming, the 5th collaboration is not available on Amazon yet, but you can pre-order from any of the co-authors that you're seeing. So if you're following any of them, you can pre-order from any of our co-authors. Again, you'll see, because I'm a little bit of a fashion girly as well, linked down below. If you like costume, a little bit of costume jewelry, you want a little big gold hoop, that's linked down below in our Amazon store. And this brooch, let me tell you, fun fact, as we get ready for Desireé Bonner to come up. Fun fact, some of you might have seen, I will call it a little bit viral. It's not really, really viral, but a video that I did with a green coat that did really well on like Instagram and the reels and all of that, and on TikTok. And I put brooches instead of buttons. And so fun fact, linked down below in the Amazon store is a kit, a set of brooches. This is one of them. them, but you order it and it's like maybe like 6 brooches in there. So that's linked down below in the chat. Thank you, Kamisha. She seems to be an honor. She's saying ouch. She's saying ouch. All right, coming up to the stage live here on Amazon Live with the rest of our co-authors. We're bringing up Desireé Bonner is coming up. Elder Desireé Bonner, put your virtual hands together as she joins us live. Hello. Hello. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am doing great. We are so excited to have you on Amazon Live.
Same here. This is pretty cool because I'm used to the StreamYard thing or the YouTube thing, but seeing it live on Amazon is pretty cool.
Yes.
Leave it to you to find something new and different.
Listen, they said we approved you for the Amazon influencer, and this is one of the things that we get to do. So yeah. I always love to help as we build platforms, help showcase that. But you have been very integral, actually. So this is a fun fact, viewers and listeners. We have leveraged Desiree's business, her company, for all of our past 4 book collaborations. She's done interior layout and design and distribution. And so what's so beautiful is that for all the past books that you see on Amazon, you see her handiwork. But this book, she decided to pick up her pen and join us and do dual roles as a co-author, and then also still layout design, cover design, and all of that. So go ahead and, in your own words, tell viewers and listeners who you are, what you do, and all of that good stuff.
Yes, I am. One of the things I love to do is the idea of the elevator speech, right? So you should be able, from the time you get from the penthouse down to the ground floor, you should be able to tell what you do, right?
Right.
It doesn't, of course, encompass everything of who you are, but at least from a perspective of what I do and what I'm passionate about in this space is I operate as a spiritual midwife for emerging authors. And what I love to do is I like to provide ghostwriting, editing, book creation, and design services so that they can get their words from heart to paper to published. Yeah. And I find that this space is where my purpose fits, because there's so many people who have a great story, or they have lots of experience or expertise or skill sets that they don't have the ability to put all those pieces together. And so I don't operate as a publisher, but I operate like the Holy Spirit who comes alongside you to kind of help you put all those pieces together and get it out there for the world.
Oh, such powerful, impactful work that you're doing. How did you even get started in this space?
Oh, that's a long story.
Like I ain't got time to tell that today.
A whole nother thing.
We'll have to bring you on the Sharvette Mitchell radio show for that. We'll do that. We'll hold
ultimately, that's why this subject matter was it spoke to me. Yeah. Because it's the idea of purpose, right? And a lot of times we think that the things that we go through and the things that we do over life, and then we end up in this place that we weren't expecting. And we don't realize that all those things that we went through, all those things we experienced, were all part of getting us to our purpose or bringing that purpose out of us. Yeah. And because God wastes nothing, he uses all of it. If you had told me 10 years ago that this is what I would be doing, I would be a ghostwriter. I didn't even know what a ghostwriter was, but I was already writing technical manuals. Yeah. And SL, all these different things that we do in corporate jobs. I did 30 years in Fortune 20 corporations. And God said, well, what's in your hand? When I got laid off, all the things that I had learned and was doing, he said, now I'm going to take that and use that for your purpose in this earth.
Whoa, my goodness. And your chapter, Processed for a Purpose. Oh, and that word might scare some people, like, I don't want to go through the process. I don't want to go, but processed for a purpose. What was the writing? Because I knew purpose spoke to you when we had the initial conversation. You was like, okay, this topic speaks to me. What was your writing process like?
For me, I used a technique actually that I use with a lot of my writing coaches, coaching program. And that is what's called like the transcription or the compilation progress. It doesn't really, maybe a little seeming unfair, but what I did was I used what I already teach.
Yeah.
I teach it all the time. So I've either spoken it, I've ministered it, I've taught it. So all I did was go back and get the work that I did and then allow the Holy Spirit to blend it so that it worked for this particular purpose.
Ah, wonderful. And a shout out on YouTube, Miss Warford said, yes, my spiritual midwife is Desireé. I've done 2 books with her. Wonderful, wonderful. Miss Warford, feel free to shout out in YouTube your links to where people can purchase your books. Okay, so thank you for like that behind, that behind the scenes there.
Because a lot of people think that they have to write totally from scratch.
Right.
And that they have to have a blank page. But the reality is we teach that which we already embody.
Yeah.
So it's already in you. And so all you have to do is just sometimes just go back. That's why I love what I can't remember her name, but I think one of the other people that was speaking, she said she got 18 books and she's got plenty more books because you're
Dr.
always
Taylor.
got something in you that's coming out.
Yes.
Just write it.
Just write it. Just write it. What are 2 quotes from your chapter or sound bites that you would like to share as kind of an appetizer for our viewers?
Well, not necessarily quotes because I want you to buy the book.
Yeah.
Buy the book. But in my chapter, I provide 2 examples of being processed for purpose. And one is from King David when he was a boy, when he was being anointed king. And the second is a lesson from Cinderella, or Cindy as I call her, because we cool like that, right? So from the Cinderella story, and both of those stories, even though one is biblical and one is fictional, it's the idea that you don't automatically ask God for something, go to sleep, and it just magically appears the next morning.
Right.
So I tell people when I mentor them, don't be surprised when you go to sleep after asking God for something and you wake up next to a shovel. Process
mic
is
drop.
the thing that gets us from here to here. And we're not going to be airlifted to it. You've got to work through it, and you work in alignment with him to get there.
Listen, I would drop my mic, but I bought it from Amazon.
Too much.
It's available in the storefront. This is the Yeti mic, and I'm not going to drop it. But if you do need a good mic, not one you could drop, grab this down below in the store. So certainly we can hear, viewers, you can hear, you need to pick up Prepare for Purpose. How can people follow you, connect with you, and all that?
Well, my website is dhbonner.net. So I have all of my social media links there as well. But I'm very visible on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn.
All right, that is there. Well, we are so excited. Again, cover design by you for Prepare for Purpose. So this is all of her work there, interior layout design. So that's all of her work. And again, all of our past books. I'm just holding up 2. There are 4 there that you'll see her work there. And so it was an honor just to have you in the book collaboration with us.
Thank you for allowing me to join you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day. All right. I am telling you, pre-order your copy from any of the co-authors that you are following or are connected to. You absolutely need this book in hand. You need this book, Prepare for Purpose, your invitation to the next level. As I get ready to bring up our next author, Dr. Tabatha Spurlock, someone asked me, where did you get the subtitle? And so Prepare for Purpose certainly is the main title. The subtitle is Your Invitation to the Next Level. And let me tell you where I got that from. This was several years ago. We were there was my church service that I attend. Shout out to New Jerusalem International Christian Ministries, Bishop Joel Vincent Brown and Chief Apostle Olive C. Brown. And there was a pastor that was visiting from Africa, and he gave a prophetic word to the drummer. Our drummer at the time, his name was Cameron Pope. And he stood Cameron up and he said, "You have been invited to the next level. It is up to you whether you go. You have been invited to the next level, but it's up to you whether you go. And so that always resonated and stuck with me. So that's where the subtitle came from. All right, so let's keep it moving here. We're bringing up to the mic our next co-author, amazing, not a novice to this book space at all. Dr. Tabatha Spurlock is coming up live here on Amazon Live. Thank you for all those that are here with us. Let's put your virtual hands together and welcome Dr. Tab. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hello, everyone. This has been amazing thus far.
Hasn't it been? I mean, it's like, give me the book. Like, I wrote in the book, but I'm like ready. Like, how do I place my pre-order?
Exactly. Yes. I'm loving all the excitement, the energy, the nuggets. Everything is awesome.
Yes. And so your chapter, No More Running, your chapter in Prepare for Purpose, No More Running. We want to chat about that, but tell the viewers a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, all that good stuff.
Cool. Well, again, hello, everyone. I am Dr. Tabatha Spurlock, affectionately known as Dr. Tab. I am a veteran educator, philanthropist, and I am passionate about helping women build connections and helping them to grow personally and professionally as the founder and CEO of Empower One, Inspire Many.
Wonderful. And you are not a novice in this book space. Like, how many books are in your repertoire now?
7.
7. So you've done collaborations, you've done your own books. And so are any of them available on Amazon?
Yes, you can go to Amazon to get my children's book, A Promise is a Promise. And that's truly where the writing started outside of my professional and educational journey.
Yeah. What prompted you to write A Promise is a Promise?
Unfortunately, in October 2016, I was the victim of a traumatic accident. And I was diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety, depression. I couldn't walk unassisted for 3 months. And as I was going through that journey, trying to recover and to bounce back, I thought about other moms out there. And I don't want to steal the thunder of the book. I want you to get it. But there was a promise that was on the table, and my daughter was 5 at the time. So that's a play on the title. And I was struggling to fulfill this promise. And the irony is I launched the book during the pandemic, a time where a lot of people were planning to travel, hint, hint. A lot of people were planning to do a lot of things that got derailed by no fault of their own. Matters were beyond our control because we were quarantined at home, not knowing when it would end. And it pained me to have a promise on the table for my child. She's my only, child that I have. Yeah. And I just felt bad. And I figured, okay, well, let me write about this process, because as I'm going through it myself and trying to figure out a time when I can honor this promise, I'm sure I can help other parents deal with the same thing.
Good. Thank you for sharing that. So again, on Amazon Live, just you see her name right here on the screen, screenshot it, go find out. So your chapter in Prepare for Purpose, No More Running. What was your writing process like? Tell us about it.
I started with that children's book, and I said, okay, well, I'm in the children's book space, but I empower a lot of women. I'm in that space as well as a certified life coach and entrepreneur. So now let me switch gears. So now that the story was out there from, a children's perspective, and of course we, save some of the details, now I can reach the moms. Now I can reach the women who are truly suffering and dealing with setbacks in life. And last year I decided to participate in several collaborations. And that was the start of me telling my story from years of writing, but getting to a place where I could tell my story. And I was telling someone the other day who reached out to me about writing a book. And I said, just journal, just write down your thoughts, and you will know when it's time to share your story publicly, because the tears won't flow so hard. There still may be tears, and every story is personal because we had to live it. But the more you tell your story, the stronger you will get, the better you'll feel, and you will overall have that confidence to put it in a book, to speak it from a stage, and to help other people heal. because it's
Come
not
on.
yourself.
Right. Come on and preach, Dr. Tab. Come on here. Yes, yes, yes. And I love that. And you're a speaker as well. And so how can people or organizations reach out to you for speaking?
I am on Facebook and LinkedIn as Dr. Tabatha Spurlock. I am on Instagram as well as Dr. Tabatha_Spurlock. And my email, tabatha.spurlock@gmail.com.
All right, there you go. So what are things that you want people to really walk away with after reading your chapter?
I want them to know that you can bounce back from life setbacks and like a boss. And those who have been in my coaching program over the years, you know that BOSS is an acronym. But of course, I'm not going to give it away because I want you to get the book. But just know, whether it's a financial setback, a relationship setback, a health setback, you can bounce back. It's tough when you're going through it and you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But I promise you, there is light, there's glory, there's success, there's healing at the end. But you just got to push through and you have to put in the work. You have to put in the work.
I love it. And so no more running, because sometimes when there are some people, and a couple of the authors have talked about people who felt stuck. Mm-hmm. So like, I can't move. But however, in your chapter, no more running. And so there are people who are like moving and they're not stuck, but in a sense, what do you say to the person that they're just running away from their purpose, running away from what they're supposed to be doing? What do you say to that person?
Face your fears. Do it scared, but face your fears. Find an accountability partner, find someone you can trust, or talk to yourself, talk to God, talk to whomever's going to make you feel good about yourself. You don't want to find the person that's going to beat you down.
Right.
But find that trusting source and stop running. And even if it's a simple Facebook post or a social media post, just post something positive, but just keep doing it and be consistent. And the more you're consistent, the more you'll feel good again. And people will know the story that you're trying to tell and what you're trying to overcome. And I promise you, God will bring the right people to you. You will attract them and you won't even know it. But because you're obedient and you're just going through the motions and bypassing the fears, I promise you, I'm an example. And there is light again at the end of the tunnel. So in my book, we're going to talk about the setup, the setback, and ultimately the comeback.
All right. No more running. Pre-order your copy from Dr. Tab. If you're following her, links are graciously all up and down everywhere. Follow her and pre-order a copy from her. Once again, what are all the ways that they can follow you and connect with you online?
So I'm Dr. Tabatha Spurlock on Facebook and LinkedIn, Dr. Tabatha_Spurlock on Instagram. And I also have an Empower the #1 Inspire Many Instagram page as well for those women looking to connect with other women for events and things like that.
Speaking of events, you host quarterly conferences. And I had the privilege of attending the last one, so beautifully curated, just the experience. So tell us about your upcoming event.
So on April 16th, we will be in the Short Pump area. And you heard it here first. I haven't announced the speakers, but Sharvette Mitchell is speaking with us. She's on the lineup. I just couldn't keep it to myself. She put me on the spot. But yes, we are 2 of the speakers. And it's for those who want to learn how to write, how to publish, and how to monetize. Because not only did I write the books, I have merchandise that's a part of my brand with the book. So I want to make sure that those who want to get their story out there, they know how, they're connected with the women who can help them fulfill that goal, but also have multiple streams of income. So the first step is just telling the story, but there's so much beyond telling your story. To help you the life that you want,
And that's Short Pump, Richmond, Virginia, because we know that those of you are all over. But listen, you can fly in, take a train in, ride a bike in, or what have you. So how can they find out and order tickets for that event?
You can go to the website, www.letswineaboutitevents.com.
All right, there you go. Well, Dr. Tab, it's been great featuring you here. Listen, yes, Dr. Tab coming in from YouTube, Kamisha. Yes, Dr. Tab is very inspirational. Absolutely, she is. Thank you for being here, and more importantly, thank you for being a part of this book collaboration.
Thank you so much.
All right. Woo! I am telling you, pre-order your copy from any of our co-authors. Again, welcome to all those that are on Amazon Live. We see you. We see your comments. Let me just double check because my phone be trying to time out. Yes. All right. Yes, Lisa Williams said, Dr. Spurlock sounds like you, Sharvette. Listen, one of my platform builder clients, speak on it. Come on, bestie. All right. Thank you. We love the hands and all of the shouts out that are coming in on Amazon Live and also YouTube. Thank you. And we snuck and streamed it a little bit into the Coaching with Vet Facebook community. Thank you for being here. Again, linked down below because we are on Amazon Live and I'm a little bit of a fashion girly. If you like my earrings, they're linked in the store below. Also, this brooch, fun fact, is a part of a bridal set. You get like 6 brooches, different ones. And so this is one of the ones that are there. So if you are a brooch girl and you want a couple or you want to become a brooch girl, check the link down below. And of course, all of our past books are linked down below. This is just 2 I have in front of me, but you can check them out down below. All right, come on up to the stage. Next, we have Pastor Roz Brown, who is a part of this book collaboration, Prepare for Purpose. And her chapter is Love on Purpose. Put your virtual hands together as we bring up to the stage live right now, Pastor Roz Brown. Hello, Pastor Roz. How are you?
Hey, Elder Sharvette. Hello, Sharvette. I am good. I'm glad to be here. You know, I'm so used to the formal setting and greeting you, but I know in this space you're just Sharvette, but you're a powerful woman of God. I love you so much, and I love what God is doing in your life. So I'm excited to be here.
Yay! We are glad to have you and to feature you here on Amazon Live. Absolutely. Yay. Coming on in. Yes, a Kindle customer said, yes, Pastor Roz. Yes, she is here with us and a part of the book collaboration. But before I get started, I'm having all of our co-authors just tell a little bit about themselves. So tell us a little bit about your background, what you do, and what you'd like to share with the viewers.
Oh, wow. Well, yes, again, I am Roz Brown. I am from Richmond, Virginia. I kind of have dual residency right now between Richmond, Virginia, and I live in Forest, Virginia, technically. And but I was born in Richmond, born and raised, born into a legacy of amazing and powerful and world-renowned preachers, teachers, and leaders that basically in Richmond started with my grandmother, Bishop Annie Chamberlain, and my grandfather and my grandparents, Elizabeth and James Brown, but my mom and dad, Apostle Olive Brown and Bishop James Brown. I was born into that legacy. 5 siblings. I am the second, and for 13 years I was the only girl. And then 13 years later, my mom decided to have another daughter, and my baby sister is Coretta. And I've got 3 amazing brothers that are all bishops and leaders. I reside in Lynchburg part of the week, and then the rest of the week I'm blessed to pastor New Jerusalem International Christian Ministries with Bishop Joel Vincent Brown. And that's a powerful part of my life. I work in the hospitality and hotel industry for I work part-time in the industry for over 20 years. Wow. And I'm a mother of 2. I'm a mother of 2 beautiful daughters, Chanel and Jasmine. Jasmine is in the retail fashion industry and design, and Chanel is in child development industry. She's a foster parent of 5, which has now made me a foster grandparent, I guess, at this point. So I'm actually in Lynchburg, Forest area, those 4 days a week, helping her raise 5 right now, 2 that have officially been adopted, amazing foster care children. And I sing, preach, and travel, and I live a very eventful day and life that does not stop in Jesus' name. But I'm grateful to God for life and for all that he's doing in my life.
Wonderful.
And now I'm a book author.
And now you're an author. Yes.
Oh,
now you are an author. Look, give shout out for Carlethia. She is giving shout out in the comments on YouTube. So out of all of that, you found some time to write a chapter in our book, Love on Purpose, which is actually you have a video, and so talk a little bit about kind of your Love on Purpose really campaign theme. Yeah.
Well, you know what? That has now been birthed into a weekly, mostly weekly. I try to keep it going every week. Inspiration, a weekly word of inspiration. And, you know, it all was birthed out of understanding that love has to be intentional, and understanding that love is who we are. Love is who we are created to be. And so that message of love has always been a sincere part of my heart and my mission for life. And years ago, I read a book, and I'll never forget. It came to me a few minutes ago, actually, while sitting here. It was called Jesus CEO. And it's by Laura Beth Jones. And the book talks about creating your mission statement for your life. And it talked about corporate, how Jesus is the ultimate CEO. But it talked about the corporate industry, how you have to have a mission and a message for your life. And it said, I'll never forget, it said that so many people spend so much time trying to create these elaborate mission statements for their 501c3s and for their corporate. But she said this, and I'll never forget it. She said, you should be able to recite your mission statement if a gun was pulled to your head at the drop of a hat. And sometimes we say, well, what is the mission of your church? Or what is the vision of your church? And we be trying to go to the website. We be trying to look for the program from Sunday. And that registered and resonated with me, that my mission statement has got to be so concrete. And so my mission statement for my life became singing, preaching, teaching, but above all, living the message of love that draws men and women to Christ. We've got to live the message of love. And that's where ultimately Love on Purpose was birthed out of.
Wow, which was so great to make it the chapter title. And really, I love how having this conversation about love and tying it to purpose. Like this is tied to your purpose. I think your chapter very eloquently shares that. And so what was the writing process like? Was it, and I know you made a comment, this is different than writing a sermon. Like,
okay, so let's talk about how it all started. You came to me and offered me the opportunity to be a co-author in this collaboration. And I was so honored and so excited. And so I started thinking about it. I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, this is going to be easy. I can write a chapter in a book. I write sermons all day long. So first of all, I was like, what am I going to write about? And so one Sunday we were walking out of church, and you're like, Pastor Roz, did you come up with the title yet? And I said, not yet, Elder Sharvette, but it's coming. And we were standing outside of my office, and I have this little plaque outside of my office, little thing, pegboard, and it said Love on Purpose. And while you were asking me, you looked and you were like, that's your chapter.
I was like,
oh my God. And it was no turning back. You know, the moment you said that, it was no turning back. Now, when we get to this here journey that you're asking me about, oh my God. So I was like, I can write. So I started making notes. I make notes here, make notes there. That's what love. Girl, I started realizing I had to write 3,000 and however many words, I started writing. I just knew. I was like, oh, I'm going to have, good God Almighty, I done wrote about 5,000 words. I'm
yes.
Words. And I think that I only had 1,200 words. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. I've been writing for days. I just knew I had been making notes for weeks and months and just knew, girl, when the reality hit me, this was not for the faint of heart. I tip my hat to everybody that has ever written any book. And my mom has written books. I follow Sharvette's journey and the writing. I was like, how the heck do they do this?
Well, you ended up with over 5,000 words, so you made it there. You made it.
But it was an amazing journey, and I'm so grateful for it. And here we are.
Here we are, live on Amazon. You can pre-order a copy from Pastor Roz. And so, what are maybe 2 sound bites or nuggets from your chapter you'd like to share with the viewers to entice them?
Sure. Well, you know what? I think the message that my chapter is built around, and it starts with the 1 John chapter number 4, verse number 7 and verse number 16. And it says, "Beloved, let us love one another. For love is God, and everyone who loves is born of God." But then it says this one powerful thing that was like one of the first scriptures we learned as children. It said, they used to say, "Can you recite a scripture?" One of the first ones they taught us. First of all, the first one was John 3:16. "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish but have everlasting life." But then we would get to the table and everybody had to recite a scripture. And the easiest one, of course, was Jesus wept. But the second one was God is love. And that's in this 1 John 4:16. It simply says God is love. And the message that my chapter is built around is the message that the harsh reality is there is enough hatred, fear, and darkness in this world. But we must be love and we must be light. And that's the message that everything, following in that chapter comes out of. In this world, we see darkness all day long. We get reports of darkness. We watch the news that there's darkness, there's fear, and there's hatred. And you wonder, why did they do that? Like, why was there another school shooting? Why was there? And then there's darkness, and we see so much the earthquakes that just happened, like 50,000 people gone in one day. And all of that sometimes brings a spirit of fear and brings darkness. But I think somebody said, you may be the last person someone sees or hears in a dark moment. If you can drop a shower or just a raindrop of love in their life, you never know whose life that may make the ultimate difference in. So we must be the light and we must be the love.
Love on purpose. Chapter in Prepare for Purpose. So beautifully done. And I said earlier, this book, out of all of our books, is definitely the most faith-based, faith-laced book. So no surprise with preachers and apostles and elders and first ladies and all, and just faith-based people. No surprise there. So I love that. I love that. And any shout outs you want to give? I know you have mentioned a few people. Any shout outs and anything coming up that you want to shout out?
Yes. Always shout out to my mom. Because if it wasn't for her, my mom and my father, I would not be here today. And my mom, Chief Apostle Olive Brown, who is first of all my mother, but then she's my chief apostle and she's our leader and our founder of our church. And what a gift she is, and what an inspiration, and such a light of love and elegance and beauty, and a powerful woman, writer and woman of God. Shout out to my daughters, Chanel and Jasmine, for just being the gift that God gave me. And just to everybody, New Jay, our church family, all of those that just band together. shout out to Elder Greg Mitchell, who has worked with me musically and so many of the songs that I've written. And he's preparing in the next few weeks to put one of those songs out I've sang for so many years, but have not formally released. And so we're preparing, to put out one of those singles. I think he's preparing to put out Kingdom Down. Satan, we're going to tear your kingdom down. So we're bringing down the kingdom of darkness and bringing out the kingdom of love and light. And I got more great things coming up, and just stay tuned. And I'm excited. And shout out to you, Sharvette, for being such a gift and such a blessing and such an inspiration to women and a few lucky men all over, that you inspire and just direct and show in such a powerful way how to get our messages out, and through social media and all the other streams that you just share and bless us with.
Thank you. Thank you. I honor one of our a viewer said, my sister is 13 years younger than me too. So that is somebody.
Wow. That is too cool.
Yes, that was so eloquently stated. I agree. How can people follow you, connect with you, and maybe see some of your Love on Purpose videos?
Amen. Well, all of my videos and my social media, everything is Roz Brown. But on Instagram, it's Her Worship, and it's connected. Her Worship, her worship was born out of my heart, ultimate heart to be a worshiper, my life to be worship unto God. And years ago, I don't even remember, it was the middle of the night, and I was watching like a Miss Universe pageant or something. And it's something, a term in Africa where I guess the president or something, they called his worship. And when I heard that, just the worship stood out to me. I don't even know what it was. I just heard those words. And so most of my YouTube and my Instagram, you'll see Her Worship, Roz Brown, but it's all birthed out of my heart to be a worshiper. But Roz Brown, Richmond, Virginia, you can find me there. You can email me at pastorrozbrown@gmail.com or rozbrown@live.com. And you can connect with me. You can see my YouTube and Facebook and Instagram all have my Love on Purpose weekly inspiration.
All right, wonderful.
As well as Jerusalem. Wait. Yeah. I preach on Fifth Sundays and Fifth Wednesdays and any other time. Bishop Joel, shout out to you, my brother. Shout out to Bishop Rudy, Bishop Joel, Bishop Marvin, and Sister Coretta.
Yeah, gotta get them all
of my siblings for being amazing. But Bishop Joel, thank you, and New Jerusalem. I'm there pretty much every Sunday, and just there to share and help, do whatever we can to be a light in the kingdom, draw men and women to Jesus.
Wonderful. Rita said, thank you, Pastor Roz. So inspiring. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you,
Pastor Roz. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, and we'll keep our eye connected to you.
Thank you, Sharvette. Stay blessed, stay beautiful. Keep showing love, and every chance you get, put on some pink, because it ain't nothing like pink. I love you.
That's right. Normally I have, normally I have some pink, but I was trying to match our aesthetics here. You can see that our book cover is navy blue and turquoise, and so let's get. These conversations are great. Thank you. If you have been here the whole entire time, shout out in the comments. Shout out. We're bringing Chandra Payne up right now. Shout out. Hey, Chanel. Thank you, Miss Desi Fox. Thank you for being here. Wonderful. Love on Purpose is absolutely the truth. Absolutely. Congratulations. Lisa saying pink. Yes. SRB said, congrats, Pastor Roz. So much love coming up here on Amazon. Thank you. Let's bring up Chandra Payne is coming up right now live here. Her chapter, Directing Your Path to Purpose. And you're going to understand why that word directing is in there. Put your virtual hands together and welcome Chandra Payne live on Amazon. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hello, Sharvette. Thank you so much for having me. It's so good to see you. And I'm wearing my pink. That's what Roz just said.
Listen, we are glad to have you, and more so glad to feature you in Prepare for Purpose. Before I get ahead, introduce yourself to those that may be new to you, and tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Sure. Hello, everybody, to this virtual world. My name is Chandra Broadnax-Payne, and I am an author, a filmmaker. I write, direct, and produce films. I'm also a philanthropist. For the past 10 or 11 years, I've assisted 10 minority women with college scholarships. And this is my third book, but first, anthropology. So I am excited to be a part of this journey, and I thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Tell us about your film.
Sure. So my first film is a documentary called A Silent Enemy, and it is about domestic violence in the African American community and the deadly silence that perpetuates the violence. And so in that film, I feature powerful and emotional stories of survivors and their journey towards healing, right? Sometimes when we see films about domestic violence, all we see is the violence. And so I wanted to let people know that there is life on the other side of domestic violence, and that there can be healing on the other side of that. And so it's a film that really sparks conversation and brings awareness to what I call the silent killer. It's happening in every community. But as an African American woman, I specifically wanted to target my own community.
Yes. So such transformational work in that film. And I was at one of the premieres here in Richmond. And interestingly enough, the film, although it is not your personal lived experience, it kind of came about from your initial book and some of the conversations that spawned from your initial book. Tell us about the first book that you wrote.
Yeah, you remember a lot, Sharvette.
Yes, ma'am. That's my media hashtag, media journal. Yeah.
My first book is called You Go Girl, 25 Ways to Step into Your Greatness.
Yes. That's available on Amazon, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Hold that up high. Hold that up high.
Okay. Let me make my screen bigger here so I can see myself.
Oh, you know what? Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me make you, let me help this out here. Let me do this. Okay, there we go.
All right. It might be because I have a virtual background.
Oh, okay. That's good enough right there. I just want to make sure they can see. All right. Beautiful. Okay, wonderful.
So yes, that is available on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and other retailers. But that book actually didn't start as a book. I think it was Dr. Tabatha who talked about journaling earlier.
Yeah.
And that started as entries in my journal. I also had an accident and ended up with a slipped disc in my neck a couple of years ago. And so I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything. I just literally laid in bed for almost a year because I couldn't move. I couldn't do basic things like this, just moving my neck to the left or the right or up and down.
My goodness.
And so I just started journaling. And I remember I would literally lay in bed and hold my journal up and just write because I was in so much pain. And I remember God saying to me, "You've always wanted to write a book. Now type this up, and this is your first book." And it literally became my first book. I'm not going to lie. I argued with God a little bit. I said, God, there's some embarrassing moments in here. I don't want to talk about battling depression at one point and having a little too many drinks by myself. And yes, I can be transparent about that because I'm healed from it.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to release that to the world because I came across at my 9-to-5 as this buttoned up, had it all together sister, but I really didn't have nothing together. And so I write about those things and the healing process that I went through. And as a result of really just listening to God and heeding his instructions, because he spoke to me and said, this book is not for you. It's not about you. You started journaling thinking that it was for you and for your healing, but it's for the healing of other women and girls who may be experiencing different setbacks or obstacles in their life.
So transformational, so powerful. So certainly not a novice to writing, directing. And so then we find you here with the opportunity to feature you in Prepare for Purpose, your invitation to the next level, and your chapter, Directing Your Path to Purpose. And so what are a couple sound bites or nuggets that you would share out of your chapter with the viewers to entice them to place their pre-order?
Sure. So like many of the other women before me, I am a Christian woman. And so one of the things in my chapter is let me find it here. It comes from Romans 8:28. And it says, we know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. And I go on and talk a little bit more about that scripture. But why I picked that scripture in particular is because I truly believe that we all have a purpose, that God has called all of us to do something amazing in this world, whether you are a writer, a director, an entrepreneur, a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher, whatever your path is, God has handpicked you, honey, okay? He has handpicked you for that purpose. And I also in my chapter, I talk a lot about my childhood, and I talk about how I truly believe that God has directed me all along, and I didn't even know it. And I remember on an interview you did several years ago, Sharvette, I don't remember the channel, but I remember you talked about breadcrumbs.
Yes.
Yeah. And I recall that, and I said, you know what? God has been leaving me breadcrumbs all along. From the time I was 3 years old, I hope my mother's not listening, but I used to write on her walls. I used to write on the dresser. She could not keep a pencil out of my hand. And so as I got a little bit older, I started coming up with these stories. And I have a sister who is, one of my sisters is 5 years younger than me. And so when my sister became old enough to understand a few things, I started telling her stories about this fictitious character named Peppa. She was British. And Peppa did all these little mischievous things around the house. And so those were breadcrumbs. It was storytelling.
Yes.
And I had no idea about it. And so by the time I was 14, I had written a couple of poems and had my first poem published by the time I was 14. The other thing that was a breadcrumb, and this is going to be the last thing I tell you about because I want you to pick up the book.
And I'm checking it. Look, they shouting out over on Amazon.
Okay. Thank you so much. But the other thing that I thought was so powerful is as a child, I would literally stand in front of the mirror. We had this huge mirror on our dresser in the bedroom. And I would practice that I was being interviewed by the media for my films.
Wow.
And I was a child. It made absolutely no sense to me, but I do it. And so a few years ago, after I did my first film, I did, receive some media interviews on television. I was interviewed by ABC, CBS. I did some radio spots, a bunch of podcasts. And my film literally had reach all the way from New York to LA. And so it's just been an amazing journey. And I feel so blessed and honored that this Chandra from humble beings, have been able to do this. But the only reason that I've been able to do this is because I have partnered with God and he has directed my path.
Yes, come into partnership with him, directing your path to purpose. So excited to have you as a part of the book collaboration. You all pre-order a copy from Chandra. Pre-order if you're following her. Speaking of which, how can they follow you? How can they connect with you online?
Sure. I am available on Instagram at Chandra B. Payne. It's just a shortened version of my name, Chandra B. Payne. Also, you can check out my website to see a trailer of A Silent Enemy at asilent.enemy.com. You can also send me an email at chandra.b.payne@gmail.com.
There you go. Thank you so much. We have Jasmine Clark saying dope. Lisa Williams, hey, Chandra. Wow, all of that. So thank you for enjoying the conversations over on All the Love on Amazon Live. We are watching you. Thank you for being here. We're so glad to have you in the chapter and wish you much more continued success.
You are very welcome. Thank you, Sharvette. Bye, everybody.
You're welcome. All right. Listen, you all, we have come down to the last author spotlight, but let me tell you, she's a good anchor. You know, in the relay race, the first runner passes to the second, passes to the third, and then that fourth one brings it home. That's who we have rounding out our conversation here on Amazon Live. We have coming up to the mic Dana Wilson. Again, if you might have just come in and said, hey, I just stumbled on this. I'm Sharvette Mitchell of Mitchell Productions, and we produce book collaborations as a part of our overall marketing and consulting that we do in our business. And I help high-achieving women entrepreneurs position their expertise with a polished visual brand, position, and really go after speaking strategies so that they get more eyes on their business and increase their visibility, and certainly build authority as a published author by putting their transformational story in writing or their intellectual property, and then also converting more customers with content marketing. So that's a little bit about what we do here at Mitchell Productions. And again, on Amazon, down below in the linked, if you're watching live on Amazon, and also if you come back to the replay, down below, you can see some of our past books that feature authors that we have, and also a couple fashion things. I'm wearing some earrings that are linked down below, and this brooch that is linked down below. And actually the microphone that I am on it's pink, but it comes in navy blue and comes in black, and it's also linked down below on Amazon. All right, bringing up our anchor here, Dana Wilson comes up. She is the second chapter in the book, Every Strand Counts. That is her chapter, Every Strand Counts. Put your virtual hands together and welcome Dana Wilson. Hey, Dana.
Hey, Sharvette.
We are glad to have you. You look amazing.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. I really am.
Oh my goodness. Listen, love coming in from YouTube. Felicia said, woo, woo, Dana. Love coming in from my sister, Kim. Hey, hey.
Thanks.
Oh my goodness. So tell our viewers who you are, what you do, and all, on this journey in life.
So I am Dana Wilson. I am the CEO and Director of Hair Cares, Inc. I'm a certified trichologist, a sister-like educator. I am a veteran, and most importantly, I am a mother of a son who is on the autism spectrum. So I serve audacious women, okay? Yeah. Audacious women by providing in-person and virtual hair growth services. I consult with Sister Locke's practitioners for business consulting and actually also personal coaching as well.
Wonderful. And listen, you are a beautiful demonstration. Hair is always on point. As always on point. Ayana is shouting out love. Hey, sisters, congratulations coming in from YouTube. And so this is your first experience as an author, right?
No, I know, this is so exciting. But Sharvette, I have actually been preparing for this almost all my life. Truly. I believed that I was going to be an author from a little girl. I love books. However, this has been really a real breakthrough for me because as a young lady, I used to journal all the time, because I thought I was going to be an author, right? So I journal all the time, but I had a family member who actually read my journal, my diary. Okay. And not only did she read it, she actually wrote in it too. And so that was like a huge violation, right? So over the years, I was having an issue with writing. I would write and tear up the piece of paper or write it and scribble it out because I didn't want anybody to see or read my thoughts. So actually following through with this process, putting things pen to paper, and then now sharing it with the world is on another level for me. So this has been a huge breakthrough for me.
And I didn't even know that backstory. I am so honored. I've said that a couple times today, and it really is true. I am so honored to have your chapter, which is it opens up it's a gripping opening. So when it opens, it's like it's gripping. But we're so honored to have every strand count. And so, with that, how did you sit down and decide, number one, what do I want to write about in this conversation around purpose, right? How did you decide that? And what was the writing? Did the writing flow, or were you stuck? How was that?
I had to record myself. I had to speak it. So my chapter, I am actually speaking to you. I am speaking to you. So I had to record myself. That was my writing process, by speaking it and voicing it and really kind of talking to myself, reflecting on my life. That is really what my chapter is all about, connecting the dots of how every strand truly do count. From my rearing from my mother preparing me for the military preparing me to be a great sister law consultant, and then all of that preparing me to be a mother to my special son, and then obviously dealing with hair loss as well. So all of this prepared me, and every strand of my life has really counted. And that's what my chapter is really about, really connecting the dot of how every strand counts in your life.
Yes, and it's tied into your purpose. So I think absolutely this book is for anyone who is maybe not seeing the dots connecting and maybe not saying, and in particular your chapter, like these things are happening. Are they random, or are they really a part of everything,
It definitely wasn't random. That was definitely not. They all connected. And I'm clear about, like, even now, my purpose right now in this moment is preparing me for my next purpose. So the past prepared you for the now, and the now is preparing you for tomorrow. And then tomorrow is preparing you for your whole entire life. So everything is connected. It is not happenstance here at all.
Y'all, if y'all repeat that, y'all better quote her. Say that again. Do you remember what you just said? Say it again. She said, I don't know. Go back to listen to the recording. Listen to the recording.
Prepared you for now. Yeah. The now is preparing you for tomorrow, and then tomorrow is preparing you for your purpose for your whole life.
Yeah. Felicia said, our family is so proud of you. I love the support that's coming in. Somebody commented over in the Facebook group, and they said we placed our order, so thank you so much. Also on Amazon, my phone keeps timing out and not letting me see the Amazon comments. I want to just share. Yes, Dana K and M Dallas said congratulations. Terry said hi, Dana. Lisa said Dana. So all the love is absolutely coming on in. Are there any other sound bites that you would like to share from your chapter?
I think just from my chapter, I really just want to deepen that understanding that every strand counts, that every root, every strand, every lesson, every experience, every legacy really makes a difference in our lives. We have to connect these dots. So I would charge you to connect the dots. It is not happenstance what you're doing right now. The Lord has prepared you for a time such as this, and then today for tomorrow.
Yes. Every strand counts. Dana Wilson, pre-order from Dana. Those of you following, connected, pre-order from Dana. And how can people connect with you online and follow you? Because we got some other stuff they'll be able to connect with too.
You can go to my website, which is Hair Cares Inc., Hair Cares with the S, Inc.com. And you can find me on YouTube and IG and Facebook at Hair Cares Inc. as well.
Oh, right.
And tune into my show called Every Strand Counts with Dana Wilson, where we feature leaders and entrepreneurs or people who just want to benefit others. So check me out.
Check out. So I love that. And I was so fortunate to be one of your guests. And we were able to talk about Prepare for Purpose, and every strand counts. So you will see that lace throughout her brand. And if you are a Sister Locks stylist and you're needing to get certification so you can up your revenue, how can they connect with you on that? You got any upcoming opportunities for that?
Oh, absolutely. I do. I actually have a webinar that's going to be called Getting to Certify. It's actually going to be on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern time. And you can go to my website and actually sign up. It is a free webinar. And we'll talk about strategies, how to get you certified, and then up your revenue through some consulting and coaching.
All right. And what's your website again?
It is Hair Cares with the SINC.com.
All right. And finally, just final recap here as the anchor, our last feature on Amazon Live. What do you want people to just walk away with after reading Prepare for Purpose? Certainly your chapter, but really even the whole book. What do you want people to walk away with?
You just want to walk away. But if you've been thinking about your purpose or trying to connect the dots, this book is it. All these powerful women are sharing their stories or words of wisdom about how to prepare for your purpose, your invitation to the next level. So everyone is providing something that you can grab something from.
Yeah. So
thank you so much, Sharvette. I so appreciate this opportunity.
Listen, I am just, all of you are amazing. Portia said, "Hey, Dana." I don't know if you know Portia. She said, "Hey, Dana." All right. Wonderful. And so again, viewers, listeners, pre-order your copy from Dana. It is not available. The book is not available on Amazon. We strategically are just presenting it to you here. At some point it will be, but you really want to order from each individual author. And literally, even if you just read one chapter, it's worth your whatever, $20, $25 you spend. It's well over and well worth that. Well, thank you for stopping by. I know you've got some exciting things and photo shoots and all that. So we're going to keep our eye out on Hair Cares Inc. and your brand.
Thank you. All
right, thank you.
Bye.
Woo, well, that is it. Listen, some of you have been here the whole time. Rita, thank you so much. Been here the whole time. Kim and Deborah. Mara has been here the whole entire time. Let me check over in my Facebook group, because sometimes Facebook doesn't show you who is saying what. I privately snuck over there and streamed it in my Facebook community. Hey girl, hey. And so we are so excited. Okay, I see comments over here. I see comments. Yulika, she said, "I ordered my copy. Thank you." Linda Carter says, "Say that again." Oh my goodness. Yes. Roxanne said, "My sister was 13 years younger than me." That was related to Pastor Roz. Linda Carter. Edwinette Moses said, "Awesome. Thank you all." So we just, this is how we do Mitchell Productions. We put it where we stretch the exposure for our clients and for our authors. And so with 3 minutes left, I'm going to be getting out of your way. I am the visionary author for Prepare for Purpose. And my chapter is the last chapter. I close out the book, and my chapter is your exit strategy. And so I spent 25 years in corporate America. And then February 2nd, 2018, I walked away to leap and step full-time into owning a small business. And it has been 5 years as the time of this recording. I just celebrated my 5th anniversary, and I've had people ask over those years. And literally sitting down at dinner last night, I had someone say, "What did you do? How did you know I'm going in that direction?" And I said, "Pick up your copy, pre-order your copy of Prepare for Purpose." purpose, because my chapter, Your Exit Strategy, shares 12 part component of, if you want to exit corporate America, here's the recommendations and things that I have. It's not for everybody, but it's for some of y'all. And so that's what I share in the final chapter, Prepare for Purpose, because you don't just stumble on your purpose. You don't just, it's not unintentional, it is intentional. And so if there are intentional moves that you want to make, and for some of you, you know that entrepreneurship, owning a small business is a part of your purpose, and you're in a place of transition, check out my chapter, the final chapter in Prepare for Purpose, your invitation to the next level, because this is an invitation to you. It's up to you whether you go. Thank you, Val, for being here so much. Thank you so much, Rita, for being here the whole entire time and engage with us in the comments. Looking forward to ordering and get your pre-order and get your orders in before Monday. Pre-orders end on Monday, which means, what does that mean? Pre-order means you're going to be at the top of the list, like hot off the press. When the books are printed, your order is going to be at the top of the list. And so it's just a way to showcase your support of the authors and this project. Thank you, my mom. That is my mom in real life. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Roxanne. She said, great time management. Amazing. Thank you. We are here. This was great. We thank you all so much for being a part of this. And it's a wrap. Thank you, Amazon, for allowing us to be here and allowing us to be a part of the influencer program. And so look down below and you can see the earrings and the brooch, and then the past books that you can purchase, and my microphone and a couple other things. I have on a navy blue kind of turtleneck, and it's not the exact one, but it's a similar one that's linked down below. So there you go. There you have it. And I'll wrap up with leaving out and saying goodbye. And I'll see you all on the web. SharvetteMitchell.com is a great place to connect with me to find out everything that's going on in our world. Thank you to my sister for being here the whole entire time. I appreciate it. Thank you, Felicia. She said this is good stuff. All right, it's a wrap. We'll see you all on the web. Bye.